Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. I have gotten many emails asking what's the best bang for my buck, especially the guys that buy a brand new bike. They want to tear into it and make it their own. And so they ask me, what's the best bang for your buck? Well, a lot of people say, put the muffler on because I want the fantastic Harley-Davidson sound. I want that free-flowing. I want to make everybody know I've got a Harley-Davidson. And then others say, hey, let's change the suspension. Harley-Davidson suspension is way too stiff. You need some of the high-performance kind so you can really aggressively ride. I've got another idea what the best bang for your buck is, and especially for brand new owners. It's the oil change. It's the first 1,000-mile service. Now, hear me out. I know you think I'm doing a commercial here to have you come in and me do your service. But let me explain why this is the best bang for your buck and the best thing for your motorcycle. Brand new motorcycles are run maybe 1-2 miles at the factory to make sure that everything's working correctly. And then they come here and then they are set up and a PDI run of maybe 10 miles, and then you've got parts, brand new parts, trying to fit themselves together. Brand new parts that came from the foundry, from the machinist place and all that. Let me explain here. We've got, in the motor part, you've got brand new cylinder, brand new piston, and you got rings. And there are micro valleys and mountains inside the cylinder, even though you can't see them by your eye. But the rings are going up and down and fitting to the cylinder to make a great seal between the ring and here. And you're going to have a little bit of micro metal coming off because they're trying to fit each other. You've got the chain drive inside your cam cover with the chain and the gears, and they're fitting back together. You've got cams and lifters, and everything is brand new, trying to make everything fit to each other. And then you go over to the primary, and you and I both know, these compensators are starting to wear the minute you start firing them up and running. And then you've got your clutch plates. Brand new clutch plates and steel plates fitting to each other, wearing into each other. And so you've got clutch material going around in your primary. And I'm not even talking about the primary chain that is going from gear to gear, going around and stretching and losing micro pieces of little bit metal. And then we go over to the transmission. We got big gears fitting from the main shaft to the counter shaft, trying to make themselves fit together so they smoothly work together for the lifetime of the motorcycle. So this brand new motorcycle that you bought is working itself together, and we could talk forever about how to break them in like you stole it, or as easy pie as S&S and Harley-Davidson says for the first 100 miles, but you're still, the metal to metal is working themselves together to be a perfect fit. When you got all this going on, you got this little micro metal going through your motor, and you would really like to get that out. Now, in my first years of working for Harley-Davidson, it was a 500-mile service, and everybody started complaining about, oh man, I just spent all this money on this motorcycle, and I got to spend money 500 miles later to have an oil change and service. But hear me out. If you talk to every #1 engine builder in the United States or in the world, after they run a motorcycle, even 25 miles or 100 miles or 500 miles, they're changing the oil. They want to get that oil out of it so you have fresh oil in. So the best bang for your buck, making that 1,000-mile service, or at least changing your oil. It helps your motor run cooler. It gets the contaminants out of it. And yes, we have a 5-micron oil filter, and it does the best job. But you still, when you drop your oil at home or here at the shop, it's dirty. It's black, and it's got stuff in it. And you want your motor to last the lifetime of your ownership, and you want it to run right. One of the biggest tricks when you are dynoing is change the oil before you go onto the dyno. It makes the motor run smoother, and it makes the motor run cooler. So I'm open to your suggestions of what you think is the best bang for your bucks. But for me, it's the oil change. It's getting fresh oil and getting what we used to call break-in oil out of the motor and getting fresh oil in it so your motor lasts longer. That's my best bang for the bucks. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next week.